we're doing here is we're creating curvature, splines, projecting profiles, and creating splits. Okay, quite often when you do a kind of a sketch, with a pencil, pen, piece of paper, or you might produce a basic rough model by hand, you can explore really quite nice, subtle curves and features and aesthetics that you might not be able to possibly generate or stumble upon when you're doing CAD work. Okay, so the kind of the hand techniques are still totally relevant and still used within design technology and design development at this present moment. Okay, so what we're going to do is that sketch that we've created, we're going to basically import that into here. We're going to look at it on a top view and a front view, and then what we can do is we can draw those sketches, those profiles, yeah, and we can project them together to create a 3D shape or form. Okay, so what I'm going to do is top view, create that as a new sketch, and I'm going to import, insert image, and there it is, my toothbrush orthographic. I've already imported that. Okay, now to import an image that you're going to use in this file, you would do that by going insert new element, and you would import, yeah, from the actual emailed file, or from your downloaded file, or your scanned in file, you'd import it here into this document, and then insert it into the document by clicking right there. Okay, now it asks me now to draw the image rectangle. I'm going to do it in the top view, as you've already seen. I've selected that as my sketch. Whoops, top view. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start that image from that datum point. Click and drag. You can see now it's previewing the actual image that I'm going to import. Click to release. And how do I know this is the right size? Okay, well, it inserts it. Okay, I know that the image, the piece of paper, is 297 millimeters wide. So I'm going to take a measurement now to make sure that this image, yeah, including the graph, okay, all the squares, 297 mil. So I'll use my measurement tool, my dimensions tool, click and drag that away. It's too big, so 297, enter. There we go. It's now 1-to-1 the way I drew it. Okay. Now I'm going to use a range of different tools. I'm going to use my basic geometry tools, my line tool, and I'll probably use my spline tool. I may well use my construction lines, and I'm also going to draw just one half of this handle, and I'm going to basically mirror it along the construction line. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, let's see if I can put this in, is match that up there. We'll put here construction line. Is it going to work? Okay, it's not working presently. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my line tool, and I'm going to match it up as accurately as possible right on that dot, right the way across, keeping it totally horizontal. You can see it's totally horizontal because it's got that blue and orange dotted line, and I drop that there. Okay, so I've got escape, I've got a line of symmetry. Okay, I'm going to use that later on. Next, what I'm going to do is continue using these line tools, and I'm going to basically, from that line, I'm going to draw one half of the toothbrush. I know things should be specific sizes, but I'm not going to, there we go. Click. I'm going to put some fillets on this now, so I'll use my fillet tool. I'm going to click here and here. I'm going to have a fillet of, let's make that 2.5 mil. Enter. Here and here. 2.5 mil, that works. And 2.5 mil here. That works as well. Okay. Now if I just want to turn that off, let's have a look. If I want to move things, what I can do is drag things a little bit there, grabbing that handle, or that node. Okay, just checking over, making sure I'm happy with what I've got so far. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my spline tool to draw some curvature. Okay, now I can see that this drawing, the initial sketch, hasn't got the curvature, but what I've done is I've just drawn the nodes, my spline points, that I'm basically going to drop in now. So I'll take my spline tool, start here, drop a spline point or a node where I want it. Yeah, you will find that the more spline points that you put in, if I wanted to put more in there, I can just drop more spline points, and if I turn that off, what I can now do is I can pick these up and I can move to create the curvature that I want. Okay, the more that you put in though, the more irregular your curvature is going to be. So I like to keep my nodes, my spline points, to a minimum. Just going to use that white one there to kind of blend that point, blend that handle into the neck. And I am going to deviate away from my initial design, but that's kind of like what design development's all about. So you get the curvature that you require, that you desire. Use my line tool, and I'm just going to from here to here draw the rest of that horizontal and the vertical, draw that in like so. And now what I'll do is I'll use my fillet tool just to finish that off. I'll put that a fillet at, let's try, see how it looks at 5, see if, nope, doesn't work. Current fillet radius project invalid geometry. It's impossible to do that. So I'll change that to, come on, let's try it 4. Yep, that works nicely. Okay, happy with that. Okay, next up what I'm going to do is use my mirror tool, select a mirror line, that's this one here, and select entities to be mirrored. So I'm going to go around now and draw the features that I want to mirror. You can see them there coming up. Put the neck in. There we got it. Okay, happy with that. Take my scissors tool and I'm just going to delete that now. Okay, now what I should be able to do, so I'm just going to accept that now, yeah, and you can see that my handle is kind of got this, the inside perimeter of that profile is going to kind of, it's got a grey tint to it, yeah, that means it's a solid profile, there's no breaks in there. What I should be able to do is, I don't need to do this, but I'm just going to show you just to check, I can extrude that, yeah, cancel that, okay. So there's my side view. Oh, one thing I wanted to do, so we go back to that, is I'm just going to edit this, is I want to drop in some points for future reference. Okay, so I'm going to have a point here, and you can see it's turned white, that's good. And I'm going to go at the other end as well, and I'm going to snap a point there as well, and that's turned white, that's handy, that's going to be useful later on. Okay, so I've put those 2 points in. Next up, so you might want to press pause, go off and do that, come back, press pause. You've come back. Okay, great. Well done. Thank you for joining part 2. What I'm going to do now is accept that sketch. Yeah. And I'm going to create this new sketch, front view. Yep, that's it there. And I'm going to insert that image just like before and select the image, take it from the datum point, drag it all the way. Yeah. Try and match it up with that last point on the previous image. I know it's snapped to the datum. Now what I'm going to do is just make sure it's exactly the same size by using my dimensions tool. It's 297. This came up with 298, so it's not exactly the same. Put it 297. There we go. Now I've got my side view, yeah, that matches up. I just use this here. You can see my side view image matches up with my plan view image, my 2 images I've inserted. So I'll go front view. That's great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this bottom profile, the top profile, and I'm going to project that plan view up to these different profiles as well. Okay, so again, combination of line tool, we'll drop the first one. Now what we should do is, I've got those points that I dropped in there, yeah. If I float above that or float on it, we should, it's not working. That's great, isn't it? Okay. What I want to try and do is match up vertically to those points. So let's see if I can, oops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in a line. There we go. I'm going to draw in a construction line. Put that straight up here. Right, it's totally vertical from that point that I dropped in. Yeah, I'll escape that one. I'll do the same again here. Okay, not to worry. Now what I'll do is matching up with that line. I'm going to use my line tool. I'm going to draw a line which goes straight across for the neck. Double click to release. Take a line from there we go. Can you see how I've got that? I wish I hadn't used an orange pencil crayon, but you can see there I'm floating on that node, and I go above and I get a little dotted orange line, yeah, which is running vertically. I know that this horizontal line here is in exactly the same vertical position. Double click. Okay, so there's the neck drawn in, yeah. Use my spline tool again. Click. Come on, not spline points. Like, there we go. That's better. Click. Click. Clickety click. There we go. Drop that. All good, yeah? Happy with that? I hope so. Good. So that construction line there matches up with that point which I drew, yeah, on the actual center of the plan view, which is great. Continue. Turn construction line off. Spline tool on. Click. 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 And click. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Turn that off. Grab my nodes. Pull. Make the changes if you want them. Yeah. Get the subtle curvature that you require, the shape that you desire. Now's the time to do it before we take this off for 3D printing. Okay, that's great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my trim tool. I'm going to trim that, get rid of that. Okay. Now, click. Happy with that. Okay. So I've got two profiles. I want each profile to basically have this shape to it as well. Okay, I'm going to bring these together. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to go project curve, right? It asks me now for the first sketch. I'll click and drag that first sketch. The second sketch that I want to project together with that is here and here. There we go. Okay, now it hasn't came up with the head of the toothbrush. It hasn't connected it, but we can use a little bridging curve to fix that. I'll accept that. That's great. Okay. My two images have disappeared. I want to bring those back. So just turn the eye on. Okay. I'm going to repeat the process of projecting a curve. Select that one there. This time, the second sketch is the sketch above. So it's this one here. Yeah. And again, there we've got now the two halves of the brush. Accept. Now I said I was going to use a bridging curve. So I'll use that here. And navigate yourself around, get yourself so you can see what you want to see. I'm going to go from here to here. Nope, that's not worked. Delete that. Okay, let's try that again. Bridging curve. First side is here. Second side is there. There we go. That should work. That's great. That's worked nicely. Repeat the process. Bridging curve. First point. Second point. There we go. Happy with that. Okay, so far so good. Turn these sketches off. I don't need to see those anymore. Okay, so I've got my two projected curves. Now what I want to do, okay, this is kind of a wireframe, is I want to make this solid. So I'm just going to isometric, zoom in. I think I'll turn these off as well. Yep. Think. Bring that back. And turn that off as well, the origin, the datum. Okay. So now what I want to do is fill that area. Great, that's worked. Yep, accept that. I'm going to go fill now this area. And yep, why has that not worked? Delete that. We're going to try that again. Fill this area. Okay, at this point you might want to take a look at another example that I've done. Okay, what I'm going to do, rather than me fiddling around, welcome back. As expected, or as these things happen, I hit a bit of a problem, which I've overcome. If you look at the side profile of this projected curve, yeah, the problem we've got, or the reason why I couldn't get it to fill, is just that this blend between the straight line and the spline isn't particularly nice, smooth curvature. So I found that if I went back to sketch 2, here we go, and edit it slightly, yeah, and perhaps bring this node down so we've got a smoother blend. I sound like I'm making coffee, yeah, but we've got, rather than that irregular facet where it goes nice and straight and then jumps into that curve, trying to blend that more subtly. Okay, so I am moving away from my initial design here. Okay, but I think that's fine. I think it's, that's what design development, that's what it's all about. Okay, I should see significant changes. Okay, so if I try that now, yeah, I've still got my projected curves. I've closed that edit. Okay, now what I should be able to do is go to fill, click on that first area, okay, on that first edge. I need to close this shape now, and hopefully, yeah, we can see there that's filled that area now. That's absolutely fine. I'm happy with that. Okay, now what I can do is I need to basically loft between these two surfaces. So I'll say loft, take the first surface, take the second surface, loft between the two, and now what I've got is I've got my solid toothbrush handle. Okay, so I'll accept that. That's great. I've got kind of some glitching going on here. If I turn off surfaces there, we'll no longer see that. Okay, so there's my main handle. Now what I want to do is put some curvature, yeah, put some fillets along these edges. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fillet tool, change that now to maybe, let's change it to 2, see how this goes down, take that edge, deselect that, sorry. So I want to take, I don't want to fillet that, yeah, I just want to fillet that, yeah. So take my fillet tool, change that to 2, see what I can do. There we go. That's great. I'm happy with that. That's gone through successful. We'll go along to the next side. Do the same here. That's good. Turn it over. We'll have that here. That's good. And if you just look at the end, yeah, that's all. We'll take this edge here. That's good. Okay. So I'm getting some fillets. Let's go to the top of the brush. Let's take a look at that. That's happy. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so I've filleted all those edges. We'll accept that. I want to get rid of those surfaces again. Turn that off. Turn that off. Yep. So there's my main handle. Okay. Now I'm not going to go through the full process of basically drawing the bristles on. Okay, that's just simply I would take that there. Okay, I will. Okay, I'm going to go now. I'm going to go front view. That's great. Okay, I'm on a new sketch on that surface. Okay, so what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to go to plane. I'll need to turn my front view on. I'll go to my front view. Oops, that's not the one I want. Let's turn the top one on. Yeah, I want it on the turn that off. Okay, let's go back up here. Turn these all on so I can see what's going on. Okay, it's the top sketch. I need to create a new plane, and I want that to be, if I look at this, 25 millimeters doesn't seem to be enough, so I'll lift it up, keep on lifting, and I'm going to draw that. That's good. Okay, it looks like about 112 it says it is. Okay, accept that. Take that surface, sketch on that surface, go to this top view. Now what I can do is I can draw a rectangle. Spend a bit of time if you want, position it where you want it so you know it's accurate. Okay, I'm just going to drop it on there quick and basic. I've drawn that rectangle. Now what I want to do is extrude it. There's some long bristles. I'm going to make these bristles 12 mil long. I'm just putting it in as a block. Okay, you could use your linear pattern tool. They're still a bit long. You could use your linear pattern tool if you wish. Change those to 10. Yep. Okay. Okay, so we're getting the shape and the form. I'm going to turn some of this off now. Okay, so if I go to top view, that's great. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to put some slices in this, because I thought that what I would have is this. Look at this side here. I thought that this area here, yeah, I might quite like that to be an additional material, so I'm going to slice this. Okay. Before I go any further, what I want to do is change the color. Yeah, I'm going to go to appearance. Oops. There we go. Change that to nice orange toothbrush. That's good. Happy with that. Yep. I don't want orange bristles though, so I need to go appearance, take the off-white. There we go. Okay. Accept that. And view. Okay. Put this away. Okay, so I want to make a kind of rubber gripped area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to sketch. I'm going to sketch right here on that work plane there. I'm going to use my spline tool, and I'm just going to draw a spline that goes something like this. Okay, yep. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude that surface so it goes all the way through here, and this is going to work as a slicing tool. Yep. From there, split, parts to split. That's the part, and that's what I'm going to split with. There we go. Okay, accept that now. That failed. Delete that. We'll try that again. Okay, so we're going to go split. Yep, there's the part. Entity split with. There's what I'm going to split with. Accept that there. There we go. You can see now that this, I go part 1, part 2. Yeah, part 2 is the bit which I want to turn the rubber. Part 3 is the main handle. Okay, so I can turn these different parts on, turn them off. Yeah, what I'd like to do now is change the color of that appearance. We'll go with purple. We'll choose part 2. It's going to be purple. So we can now split the model into different parts. Okay, there we go. Like that. Put this away. There we go. There's my isometric toothbrush. Just give you a bit of view. Turn this off, turn that off, turn that off. We might as well. Let's go here. Turn that off. Yep, we've got a better view. I'm going to make some changes again. If I go to here, we can see shaded without edges. So we don't see all the wireframe. Yep. And I can also change the view again. We can make it so it is turn perspective on. Yep. From there, we could create a new drawing. Yep, of that part if we wish. Okay. But there we've got creating curvature, using splines, projecting for profiles, and creating slices. Okay. And hopefully what we can do from here is if I take that whole part, I can right click, I can say export. I can export this in STL, suitable for 3D printing. Okay, what I'd like you to do is take a screenshot of this finished piece and put that in your Onshape portfolio and send it to me via assignments. Okay, so I can see and I can measure your success in this. Well done, folks. Okay, you've done great. You've now completed the full course, part 1, yeah, on Onshape 3D modeling. Well done.